Hi, good morning. My name is Arindam Roy, and I'm a second year student at Hindu College at the Department of Economics. With me is Dr. Niti Bhutani, who's one of the most esteemed faculties for economics, not only in Hindu College, but also in Delhi University. She has made MME fearless for us and also easy for us. Ma'am, would you like to introduce yourself?
For the benefit of the audience, MME is mathematical methods for economics. Well, I'm Dr. Niti Bhutani, and I've been teaching in Hindu since 1998, actually, since the time I graduated. So, yeah, I've been here for a fairly long time, and yeah, almost 25 years. So, you can ask me whatever you would like to know.
Ma'am, can you tell us about your academic journey? Because we know you graduated from LSR, and what happened before that and after LSR?
So before LSR was school, and I went to the school called Mater Dei. Mater Dei is a convent school. Those were the days when we were growing up. They were just like 8 or 10 very like the top schools were just about like 8 to 10, and the leading ones amongst them were St. Columbus, CJM, Mater Dei. So yeah, so I was in Mater Dei, and I finished school in 1993, after which I joined Lady Shri Ram College for a degree in economics. So that's as far as my bachelor's degree is concerned. And after LSR, I joined the Delhi School of Economics, and that was for my master's. Then I immediately after I completed my master's, I got a job in Lady Shri Ram College, my alma mater, as a lecturer, as a guest lecturer actually in the journalism department. So I actually started out my teaching journey in the journalism department, and that was quite an experience, the kind of students you have there and the kinds of discussions you have there. So yeah, so that was my first teaching experience. Then I joined as an ad hoc lecturer in Hindu. Uh, so this was like, these are like very short term appointments. So there was a 4 month or maybe 5 month period that I spent here. Then I went back to LSR as a temporary lecturer. And then this was a temporary contract. And then finally in 1999, I got my permanent position back in Hindu. So yeah, I joined as permanent faculty in 1999. And then, yeah, because the rules were such that you could take study leave. So in the year 2002, I moved to Maryland on study leave, and I pursued my PhD there. So
Okay,
yeah, that's been my academic journey, plus then back to teaching.
that sounds awesome, ma'am. Can you tell us what
Thank you.
motivated to teach you at Hindu?
Well, it wasn't, I mean, yes, in a way it was Hindu, which had a lot of charm, especially in those days. I don't know about today, but yes, those days Hindu did have a lot of charm. Though a lot of people discouraged me from coming. I was, as I said, at that time, I was doing a temporary contract at Lady Shri Ram College. And a lot of people said, don't go to Hindu, there's a lot of politics there. But I think somewhere down, deep down, I wanted to be in connection with the real world. And because LSI also, because that's where I studied. So I wanted to see a new world and basically learn something about the real world. And because LSI kind of also, it's very, it keeps you very protected. You're in a very sheltered environment. It's very nice. It's beautiful there. I just love that college and the environment. But yeah, I needed to move out to be able to learn and to be able to grow as a person. So I looked forward to it, and yes, but I was pretty sure. So I did try for the civils, and but I did not consciously take my mains, because by that time I'd totally fallen in love with teaching, and I felt that that this was the area where I could grow the most, because there was certain things that I wanted to improve about myself. And uh, so you weigh the pros and cons, and yeah, by 1999, I was just absolutely sure that this is what I wanted to do in life. And that's how it is.
So you mentioned civil services. So before you started teaching, was there something else that you wanted to do?
Well, I am one of those students who never really had a clear idea about what I wanted to do. I was very open, and for me, it's like, I just get set on a particular task, and it's also like, I think it's also the universe that kind of guides you towards what you're meant to do. So, yeah, a bit of both. So, I was still discovering, there are a lot of students who are very clear, and I really admire that. But every individual has his or her own journey, and in my case, honestly, I was when I was growing up. Let me back up a little bit. So I was so much into music and dance and or everything under the sun other than study. So I would study. I would end up being the topper. I would get very good marks, but it was never about studies really. So I would just do what I had to do. But career wise, I had never thought of anything honestly. So it just happened. So in fact, I don't know if you would want to hear this, but when I completed my master's, I just, while all my friends they were looking for jobs, so I've always been a very laid back person. So I was just sitting at home doing nothing. And then one day my friends came over and my father, he just lashed out at me in front of them. He's like, well, why are you sitting at home? Everybody's working. And so the next day I was literally pushed out and I went to LSR with my CV because that's the only place I could think of, because that's where my teachers were. So I thought, okay, somebody would know me. And yeah, that's when I had my first meeting with Dr. Meenakshi Gopinath, who's a very dynamic person. She's one of the very well-known principals of Delhi University. She's retired now, but she was one dynamic lady. And yeah, I just met with her and she wanted me to teach in the journalism department. So yeah, where were we? I lost my train of thought.
Talking about your department, you being a guest lecturer at the Department of Journalism.
Yeah. Yeah, so you wanted to ask me about my why I chose economics as a
Yeah.
career. Would I have wanted? So I was saying that yeah, I would have really thought about it. I started out in LSR, and I just felt that teaching was something I really loved. So I kind of discovered myself as as I moved along in my journey, and once I realized that this is what I wanted to do. So civils was just my father was very disappointed, I must say, because he always wanted me to. He had very high hopes, and he always wanted me to be a civil servant. But yeah, I just took this path.
That's an amazing story, ma'am. Ma'am, like everyone in the college has heard about your initiatives for dogs and campus animals. So, what motivates you to do the same?
Actually, the story goes back to 2017. I had gone for a conference in Columbia University, and this was yeah 2017. And when I came back, I this was just within a week. So I just remember that period very well. I saw this little dog, a little pup, just about 1 or 2 months old, lying on the street. He was paralyzed. I didn't know at that time he was paralyzed, and I thought it was just a fracture. So I just picked him up, and I thought he would be okay. I'll take him to the vet. But it turned out that he was paralyzed for life. I tried to do whatever I could. I took him to the best vets in town, but they said it was, some of them said it was too late, or one doctor suggested stem cell therapy, and I don't think I was in a position to go to that extent. But and it was also not, that facility was not available in Delhi. So yeah, so with that dog, and also because when we tried contacting shelters so that he could get a proper a life. So the shelter said that this dog won't even last 10 days. It's the shelters, dog shelters are very unhygienic. The hygiene standards are not as great. So yeah, so I thought I'll just adopt the dog, and because I was in touch with a lot of dog shelters, I was exposed to the issues that community dogs face, And yeah, so in that sense, and also after that, COVID struck. So because I was in touch with the dog shelters, the people there, they asked me to help feed the animals in my area, because the restaurants were closed. So every day, while everybody was, just sitting inside, and they were just imprisoned in their homes, I had got a pass, so I would just set out in my car with a lot of food, and I would feed all the street dogs. So that's how I got exposed to this life. One had never thought. I was never into community animals, and yeah, then just it's just one thing leading to another, and I just there were a lot of community fights, because in general people are very hostile towards dogs, but actually it's a, there is a fear within people which they have to address. We have to learn to live in harmony with the environment, with nature. So yeah, so I think people, we all need to introspect, because it's not like I was born, people say that I'm comfortable with animals. We are not, so you should not, have the dogs around. But I also taught myself, and it's something that, you have to open these channels in your life where you can give to society, where you can give to living beings, and also be in harmony with nature. So this is a change that happened in me only after 2017, because of this dog Goldie, whom I adopted, and yeah, that just changed my life altogether.
And did Goldie survive?
Yes, Goldie is with me, and he's now, you can count the number of years, 7 years old. I'm just so busy with dogs all the time now that there was a time when I had a Labrador, and we would celebrate his birthdays and everything with the birthday parties and all. And now I'm just so, I've lost track of all of these little details, but because I'm just so busy feeding them and taking care of them, trying to get them vaccinated or sterilized. Yeah, so he's 7. That's the right number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ma'am, that's a really ambitious initiative, and I believe it should be out in the open more so that more people can support it.
Yes. So we would like students from Hindu, also our alumni, to come forward and help us. We actually have a group online on WhatsApp, and we have at least 15 to 20 very active members who feed the dogs regularly. And there are also some alumni who have contributed. Actually, some people have been very generous. Some of my friends who have contributed, because when they realized that I was feeding community dogs on such a big scale, and we do need funds for such efforts. So a lot of my friends have contributed. So we do need a lot of people to come forward and help, and also get rid of this fear. This fear is uh, just taking over people's minds. And also, like I was talking about the mental health today class, this is a major challenge that our my generation, your generation, all of us are going to face in the times to come. So we need to, interact more. We need to network more, because imagine a world without puppies. If you don't have a life where a child has not interacted with a puppy or has not played with a puppy, just imagine a life like that. So you need to be happy, and in that sense, we need to have these animals around, and we need to be friendly with them. We need to teach ourselves to be friendly with them if we are not, or at least be able to tolerate them, not get scared.
We should remain in harmony with nature.
Yes.
I'm talking about initiatives. Like, is there any other initiative that you would like to bring to our notice?
So yeah, Disha was my initiative, along with Dr. Kavita Sharma's. Dr. Kavita Sharma was the principal during the time when I was here in the initial years. So she was a principal in 1999 when I joined, 1998. And she wanted there to be, those were the days when we had no counseling, no placements at the undergraduate level. and she was very enterprising. So she and I, we just got together, and she was very helpful. So in fact, this goes back to 99 or 2000, Disha. So this was initially set up as a counseling and placement cell, but because I think they realize that these two are areas which can be separated. There's lots to do in each area. So then the students' corner came up, and this happened while I was abroad on my doing my PhD when I was on study leave. So students' corner, if I remember correctly, students' corner, and that was for counseling. And then you got this separate placement cell, which was Disha. So Disha was started by a group of, and why just me and Dr. Kavita Sharma? It was started by a group of students from economics, actually, largely from economics. I remember Anupriya Singhal used to be there, and I don't remember the other names, but yeah, it was a group of students from economics, and some were from commerce also. And yeah, you people can take the credit. Our department can take the credit.
Since we're talking about students as well as placements, can you tell us of any batch or any student in particular which has been engraved in your mind, and why so?
A lot of students. In fact, I don't think I can even take any names, because I have learned from you students, and even today I continue to learn from you. So teaching is the best way to learn. So if there are any new things that you want to try out, the best way to do it is to just try teaching that concept. And yeah, there were times when we made a fool of ourselves, but that's absolutely all right. That's how you grow. And it's the one thing that a PhD degree taught me was that it's okay to say I don't know. So I remember in my initial years, it was like we would just because sometimes you're on the back foot and a student asks you a difficult question, and that happens quite a lot in Hindu college. Remember, you're the number one college in India as of 2024. So students do ask a lot of good questions. We get very good students, which is a plus point. But when you're a young faculty member, so I was all of 22 or something like that when I joined, and yeah, sometimes you try to hide your the fact that you don't know by just saying something which is not really clear. But if that situation were to come up today, I would just simply say I don't know, and I'll go and check, and I would say it confidently, which is fine, which is absolutely fine.
Yes, ma'am. And is there anything in particular that you look for in a student?
I would just like them to be themselves, and yes, be more focused, because these days, you people just come to class with your gadgets. I think, see, if you notice, whenever I enter class, the first thing that I do is I put my phone on silent, and then I go ahead. And unless there's an emergency, I don't take calls. So there has to be certain sense of discipline. Also, I'm finding that a lot of people, you people don't write notes. You must be active, because what it's not like writing notes will be super helpful, but when you're writing notes, you're also mentally kind of revising what the professor is teaching you. So it is a good thing to take down notes, and yeah, and instill a sense of discipline in yourself. That's what I would look for. And yes, more interaction, more focus,
Yes, ma'am.
because this generation is doing so many things, which is also fine. But yeah, generally just be happy and enjoy what you're doing.
Ma'am, you were talking about lessons from your PhD. So, like, is there a life lesson that you would like to share with us?
Life lesson. That's a good question. I think the main thing that I learned was that sorry if I'm repeating myself, but you have to learn to stay happy wherever you are. Just because you're in the US or you're in India, if I'm in India, I'm supposed to be unhappy. No, I have to make my space, and I have to create my happiness wherever I am. And that's the only way you can, you should be able to contribute wherever you are.
Yes, ma'am.
So that was. how my life changed because because initially when I went to the US, I also had a lot of adjustment problems, and I think you should be totally mentally ready to take such a big step. And maybe I probably wasn't, but so yeah, the major life lesson was that learn to be happy wherever you are, regardless of anything.
I'm talking about your past. Like, is there anything in particular that has struck you in LSR and is still in your mind?
LSR had a very active cultural life. And again, it was very disciplined. So I'm sorry, but in Hindu, I often have to scold the students because I see someone practicing dance or music, just outside the classrooms during class hours. At least it used to happen a lot before COVID. Of late, I haven't seen this much. But in LSR, I remember we would have classes till 3:30, and then till late evening we would be practicing. So it was very disciplined, and when classes were on, and we would be totally focused on our classes.
So you went to USA for your PhD. So why did you come back to India to teach? You could have taught in USA as well.
Well, I already had a job here, so my study leave period had gotten over, so I came back. That was one of the reasons. The second is that my parents they were all by themselves, and they didn't want to move to the US at a senior age. So yeah, I just had this sense that because we are two daughters, so it was very important that they should not be alone in their old age. And yeah, actually, that was one of the major concerns. These were the two major concerns. So I just thought I'll come back, and as I said, if you have to do something, you just have to be creative about it. You can accomplish. By the way, because of Goldie, my dog, I also have this restriction now that I can't travel because everybody can't take care of him. Anybody and everybody can't take care of him. So I have to be around. And I've just realized that you can accomplish so much. In fact, COVID made us realize so much that you can use technology, you can do anything that you like while sitting at home, and that's how it is.
I would like to ask a few rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire, I'm not good at that.
You can answer with one or
I'll
two
take
words.
my time. I don't know about the rapid fire bit, but I'll try and answer your questions.
Just short answers.
Uh-huh.
Nothing much. Your favorite dog breed?
Dog breed.
Yeah.
Any dog will do. And dog is a dog is a dog.
Understandable. Where did you grow up?
Where did I grow up?
Yeah,
Delhi.
Delhi. Favorite book?
Uh, I I particularly like Anita Desai's what is this? Fasting and Feasting. If that's I'm so bad. I really don't have memory. So you might want to cut out on that. Yeah, it'll just give me a. Okay, so why don't you move to the next question then?
Okay, ma'am. The last movie you watched?
I don't watch any movies these days, but these days I'm watching Emily in Paris, the latest season.
Okay, ma'am. Favorite movie star?
Indian or
Any.
I I don't know. That's a tricky question. I like a lot of movie stars,
Okay.
and I don't have a good
Uh,
answer to that. Off the
the
top of my head, I can't think of any.
okay, ma'am. And the last question is your favorite place to hang out?
Favorite place to hang out?
Yeah.
Any place, as long as I'm with friends and people I like interacting with, I'm just fine with any place. I think after beyond a certain age, you just you get detached from these things. It's more about the company and just having
You become
a good
content with
time.
everything.
Sorry,
You become content with everything.
I guess you just yeah you just become comfortable with anything and everything.
Okay, ma'am. So that was the end to all the set of questions that we had. And I would like to thank Dr. Niti Bhutani for giving us time and for sparing the time to have this podcast with us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.